Jaewoong Lee, who's been traveling from South Korea to join us today. Thank you very much for that. Jaewoong is a very, very well-known entrepreneur, one of the most successful entrepreneurs in Asia and probably in the world. He's the founder and CEO of Daum Communications, which has 40 million customers in South Korea, if I'm not wrong with the figures. He's also the owner of Lycos. And he's going to talk today about user-generated content. So please welcome Jaewoong Lee.
It works? Good morning. My name is Jaewoong Lee, and I'm CEO of a company called Daum. And that company has been doing the business for the last 12 years in Korea and Asia, and also in the United States through the company we acquired called Lycos. We have about 50 million active users coming to our site, mostly from Korea and United States. And we have about 6 million communities called Cafe. That's the group of people gathering together and sharing information and feeling like a community inside. And also, we are having about 1 billion page views per day. So in a month, we are having about 25 billion page views from those communities and services we provide. That's a brief introduction about what we are doing. And today, the subject is about the collective intelligence and the collaborative creativity. I think last 2 days, we have been talking about this subject a lot. So I don't want to just revisit, the things and talking to you again and again about, YouTube and Wikipedia and things like that. I just want to figure out what's behind this kind of phenomenon we have in the world and what will be kind of the next. This subject is a bit misleading because I'm not giving you the answers, but I wanted to, share the question and find out together where we should go. So this is just, I'm just raising the question, so it won't be you won't have the answer, but let's try to figure out at the end of this presentation. First of all, I will talk a bit about human brain. We have learned this about human brain in our high schools and maybe sometimes in universities. I was doing, my major is computer science. I did computer science and, in school. But I was in a domain of computational neuroscience. That means studying human brain and to simulate them into computers and then, try to build up artificial intelligence in the computer simulating human brain. And it was really fascinating when I learned about human brain. It had about 100 billion neurons inside. We have 100 billion neurons in our head, and most of them are very simple cells. It has doing very simple things. Just one neuron does very simple things, but it's networked together, and they are networked with as many as 10,000 neurons at the same time. So one neuron can be connected to 10,000 neurons, and they are exchanging electrochemical signals, and they are functioning as a brain. And they have a lot of layers inside, very complex functions. And also, they have different functionalities in everywhere. Like, when you want to see something, is in your, back head. And if you want to talk about something, it's in the other round. So, in the many regions, they have very special functions going forward. And this was the basic understanding of, why we are going to build artificial neural network, which functions like human brain. And why I am saying this is that was 12 years ago when I first founded the company, internet company called Daum Communications. That was the background of myself. I was thinking about maybe our human society could be similar to this human brain, which does very complex things, but each individual neurons are doing the very simple thing. So, a brief picture here. So here you can see the neuron on the left side. That's a very simple neurons. You can get all the chemical signals, and then if it passes threshold, then they go forward to other neurons. And all together, it looks like this very simplified retina, the human eye, layer. But if you see here, they have many layers. They are well connected, and they have different layers doing different functions. This is how it looks. So, just to have a rough idea. But what is important is, if you see here, there is a lot of layers inside. So we have, 1, 2, 3. If you want to simplify, we have like 3, 4 layers here. And that layer is how we can interpret, everything. We can see something, we can recognize the colors, and everything is, function between those layers. So this is very simplified picture about our neurons, and this is a kind of artificial neural network thing. So if it's like the left side, there's very simple neural network which calculates XOR function. So if you have one layer, then what you can do is you can calculate XOR, you can have an output of exclusive OR functions outside. And if you have many layers, then you can do more complex things. And you can recognize things, you can speak, you can calculate. And this has been used in many fields doing the artificial intelligence and the pattern recognitions and like that. So, but one thing I have learned from this picture was each neurons are doing very simple things, but they gain together, they work up very collectively, and then they build up an intelligent function afterwards. So if you take out one cell, then that's doing nothing but just 1-0 digital signals forwarding. But at the end of the day, we are having a very collective intelligence at the end of the day. And this was kind of my concept. Maybe we'll have to build up some kind of layers, some kind of functionalities with the internet services so the people can gather together and then they can do something more value-added and more creative and more intelligent things outside. So this is kind of how I look this society, this cyber society, to say. This is one thing. And I want to go back, this is a different track, different path, but I want to just go back to think about the history of media. If you think, in the very old days, we had, media was nothing, just one-to-one, you talk to somebody, you tell a story to someone, and then, he listens to it and he speaks to other ones, and just this one-to-one kind of media in the, 5,000 years ago. After that, it became to, there are being some writers, there are some singers, so they listen from the many people, and then they gather the information, and they write a book, or they just tell the story to many people. So it was like few to one, and then one to few media in 2,000 years ago. And then it became, after we developed the printing books and things like that, we have the one-to-mass media. So we can, have one idea, and we can publish it, and we can give it to mass people. And, after that, we have one-to-mass and mass-to-one, and that means, if you think the portal services like us, or like Yahoo, or, not Google, but the so-called portal services like Yahoo, or Lycos, or MSN, or things like that, when you see that, they are providing an information to many people. The same information is on their top page. So it's been providing those information to many other people at the same time. But also the mass, all the people can go to that site and put their information, give their information, and talk to everybody. So this was kind of the media we had after internet age. There was a portal gathering all the information and providing it at the same time and talking to mass. But after that, I defined when the Google thing came in, 3-4 years ago, then we are finally having mass to mass. We can go to the Google site and finding the information, but that information is not the one Google is providing itself. It's information stored in somewhere else and by someone. So we are going to have we have a mass of people going to Google to find the information which is provided by the others in the mass crowded. So this was how kind of the media was evolved. So people are saying that Google, we now have a Google or search engine which is gathering all the information and having a lot of pages inside. So do we really need alternative media? That's the question. Maybe the people think Google is everything, so I can find everything, I can do everything, so why do we need something other than Google? So there, my question starts. Do we have something, after Google? I think we have something more than Google. When I first, typed LIFT in the Google, the first thing came out was London International Festival of Theatre. So I thought it was, this LIFT was in London, but it was not. And nowadays, yesterday I typed again, and it was now the LIFT07 was above LIFT this in London. So in the Google, there are different interests. Maybe the more people are looking for LIFT in London, but people like me are interested in LIFT in Geneva. So, we all know there are different interests, and so they are providing an information based on some keywords or some sentences, but it's not satisfying all the users. Also, there are too many informations. If I want to find some information myself, we all experience the same thing, but we have to do a lot of search, a lot of clicks to go to the page I really want. And even you go to the page there, it's not easy to verify whether that information is correct or not. So it takes a long time. Even for people like me, it takes a long time. And, the time is limited. So I want to find something very fast, but going to Google, that doesn't guarantee giving the information very fast. And also, there is a very big media divide. Media divide means to search something, to find how to use the media in a very smart way. Not every people knows how to use it. They can go to Google, but even we also operate search engines in USA, and it's very surprisingly the people typing. There are 95% of people are typing just one word, and in the only 5% are typing two words, because they don't. The majority of people till now are still thinking like maybe they have to give just one keyword to get information. So they're not that smart to provide understand about how they function, and when they type two keywords, then they will get a better result, but they are not used to it. So that's what we have right now. The people are not that smart or not that well educated to use Google in a very efficient way. So there's a very big divide between the well-trained or internet-savvy users or just normal users using Google. And also, as I said, if you want to finally got something, you searched a keyword and you got something, but the quality of information is not there. If you go to Google and type, like, let's say Daum, my company, and maybe we get some pages in Korean, but it will be very difficult for you to find the right information of what our company is doing and things like that in Google. So the quality of information is not there, and most of the information provided in Google is unverified, user-generated content. So it's also not easy to verify. So there is a problem, and we should find out how we can solve this problem going ahead. So if we go to user-generated content, we all know that is very, the key is kind of participation. People has to, contribute themselves, and now it's very easy to create a movie, music or blog or doing something on internet. And also, people are now starting to collaborate. They enjoy, exchanging photos in Flickrs, and they share their bookmarks through Delicious, and they, doing some Wikipedia things and like that. So people are gaining. And we all know that when the people are connected more and more, that's so-called Metcalfe's law, the value of the network is being bigger. So if there are more users coming in to the network and they contribute something, the value of that network is being bigger. So if we have more and more users or more and more user-generated content, then we'll have more content which is more qualified, higher quality, and things like that. And so also we haven't seen, these days, the creativity has been improved a lot because you can see somebody else is doing very easily. Before you have to travel a lot and you have to watch through the books or movies, but now you can do it yourself and you can have collaboration to do something very creative. So this is a very great thing about user-generated contents, and also this is providing a very long tail. So this means, before we only had to consume the head tail part, because there was only the blockbuster films and the books. If you go to bookstore, you will find just bestsellers in the bookstores. But now it's very diverse. If you want to find something which you have very diverse interest, you can go and you can find. But the problem is, this long tail is great, but when you just change that quantity sold to quality, then it's the same thing. The quality, when it's like, if you go to physical store, you find a lot of movies and you buy a lot and they are sold a lot. But most of them, not 100%, but I can say, maybe 90% or even more of them are with the best quality. Some movies made by Sony or Warner is better than most of like indie films. So there is something like that. So even though this long tail is very great thing, great concept, and it helps a lot to satisfy your diversity, but you are spending most of your time not just going to long tail, but more quality head tail thing. So here we have a problem. We cannot, even though there's a lot of user-generated content, most of them are not consumed, and most of them, the quality is not there. So we cannot be satisfactory with the quality of the content. So it's becoming kind of the garbage of information society. We are thinking about the environment, global warming. Now maybe we have to worry about global warming on the network because we are now spending a lot of network bandwidth and servers with these kind of contents, but most of them is maybe the quality is very low and is spoiling the people's spirit. So we have a problem here. So we have to find out some kind of solution going ahead. This is kind of maybe kind of thinking we have to think about. This is, I think, the intelligent layers, as we have learned from the our brains, and as we learn from other media activities, maybe now we have to have some kind of services or functions which is acting as a layer between the mass users and the other mass users. Maybe we need to have multiple layers going ahead. So like for the content, maybe we will need some kind of content aggregator which is not as powerful as the media conglomerate of 70s, but which can be like a blogger, which can be a person who is operating a wiki, or which can be a small internet services, but they should be very specialized to the content, and they can filter, they can understand, should have kind of confidence, pride to provide that kind of content. So maybe we need some kind of content aggregator having again some content on their own interest, and having a lot of them together and gathering another layer or other services which aggregates all those content and then providing to the users. So if I want to find something about Geneva, maybe I can go to a portal, a very local portal or very information site where has those kind of information aggregated. I don't want to go to Google and just type Geneva and get 1,000 pages of information which I don't have time to spend all over. The same thing. Also, there is the community. We need maybe community kind of gardener taking care of the community. We have MySpace and we have other services, but there is just yourself has to take care of your friends. But if there is a community like Wikipedia was very anarchist kind of approach in the beginning, but now there are many fights or someone who is not using it in a very good manner. So they need to find some kind of volunteer who can do the gardening job of those contents and community sites. That's maybe we need. We need to have, but one person cannot do it for the 10,000 persons maybe, but a person who can do for 100 people, 10 people, or 5 people can be a group all together, and then they could be a layer putting kind of building up the collective intelligence going forward. Also, maybe we might need some kind of the filtered information as well. So something is just guaranteed or ranked very high by the users or by the experts going forward. This is what we learned from the brain science. If you look at it, they are very, like for the eye, for your sight, there is something going in your back head, but there are multiple layers doing the color processing, the form processing, and the lights and everything, and then they have your vision. But also there is something doing for your motors, your movements, and your everything. So they all combine together and being our self. So this is something maybe we will need. So we might need mass participation of the community. We cannot leave the community alone, not connected. They should be all online, getting together, and then participating as a group, being to the net. And the same thing for the creative engineers as well. This is what we are doing in Korea, and also our approach is to build up something which is not just going on their own, but doing some. It can be person, it can be automated, but we want to have some kind of process which is very well managed to be kind of filtered information for the users. So I spend most of the time, so this is homework which I need to answer, and maybe the people here to answer here. Not everybody can do Google. That's, they can do the Google, but not everybody can use Google in a smart way. So that's what we all know. And not everybody can write Wikipedia, write an item in Wikipedia. They can. They have all the authorizations, but to put your knowledge in some article is very difficult. You don't have that kind of time, maybe knowledge, confidence. So not everybody can do the majority cannot do that. And also, there is very big divide in creation. If you want to create, you go to YouTube, you can see a lot of movies, but most of them are not worth watching it. And there are some really good contents, but for them, even there was no YouTube, they might have been famous because the content is so good. So it's not because of YouTube. It's changing dynamic a bit, but it's all about how you build up the content and how you can retrieve the information or content you really want. So this is at this point, the people, the users, doesn't know how to really create well and how to retrieve information well. So maybe we'll have to figure out the services or the functionalities, or I can call it a layer, which are doing the very simple things all together. So you can teach your group, you can make them learn on your group, and you can help them to retrieve the information you want going in the future. And that will build up, that will all together build up the collective intelligence and maybe the collaborative creativity. And that could be named as Meta Web 2.0 services, and that will be the solution to the media divide at the same time. So we can give the computer to someone in a very underdeveloped country, and they can learn how to use the internet. But still, to use it in a smart way, they will have to being trained or learn a lot. That's why maybe this kind of small groups, a group of the small groups will help this accelerator to teach them, to help them to going forward. And then this will be the true mass market. Now we are talking about Web 2.0, we are talking about internet and everything, but still it's very small society. We are a lot here, but really the people who blogging, who are using it in a very smart manner is very limited numbers. If we find out the way to make the real users on the street can just join and they can create contents and they can consume the contents in their own way, then I think there's a even bigger than ever opportunity as the company or services going forward. So, I mean, I really enjoyed being in this part of this LIFT, and I think this is the kind of our community, the people here. which can think about what we can do in the future. We can build up the future and gain that kind of new opportunity and help the people to really help the people to overcome the divide of the media. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jaewoong. We're going to take a few questions. I want to ask you one question. We met in an oyster bar in Boston because you spent half of your life in the US. So you're obviously taking part of this Web2 craziness, both in the US and in Asia, and I know you also travel a lot in Europe. Could you say a word about your vision of these three continents? Is it still like before with the US with all the money and the ideas and Asia copying and Europe getting their ideas stolen, or is it a bit changing, or is that too much of a cliche? Probably.
I think you mentioned everything.
Okay, that's bad news then. I thought maybe you had good news that it changed a bit.
Yeah, but I think Asia has been developing very fast last like 50, 30 years. So there is a very big cultural changes going ahead. But for Europe, let's start with Europe. Europe, we have, I think, very good foundation. Although the infrastructure in Europe is not that great, I always recognize it when I come here. But it's getting better every time. And also the kind of how we all know the Europeans have been a very long history of like creating the contents and the building up the kind of all the histories and things like that. So there is a very good starting point for Web 2.0, and there are, I think, good ideas coming out. But in US, when I go to US market, there are a lot of ideas, but as you said, that's really driven by money. When you go to there, oh, this is a great idea, but how you can make money is the only question that people ask, and only thing they are interested. But in Europe, I find many services, many companies which has a really great value. This is really good services for the society or the internet users, but still the lack of money. So I mean, my goal, I started from Asia, and we are kind of in between. So my goal was kind of to being kind of bridge from Asia, Europe, and US, but not easy. But I'm trying to do, and there will be many companies, I think, doing that kind of bridging job maybe from Asia or maybe from Europe going forward, and that's because this is what we need, kind of the global structure. The content itself could be local, but having a global structure will help a lot. So that will be kind of the approach we are all heading forward.
Okay. We'll take one question. Do we have a question for Jaewoong? Do you have a microphone? You can just press on the button and you're on.
Is that on?
Yes.
Yeah. At my university, we have a research group working on what we call transliteracy, which is to be literate across different media, right from the early days of scratching in the sand with a stick to what you're talking about here. But what worries me about transliteracy is what do we do about different languages and different character sets? And I wonder if you have a view on that. Where do you think it's going to go in the future? Will it still be English tagging, or what's going to happen?
If I understand the question correct,
do you think that because of this globalization of the content and of YouTube and all this system, English is going to become everybody's language, or are we going to keep all our specificities and it's going to create problems?
I think in terms of media literacy, I think it's a bit different way because now if you give a computer to Korean, to American, or to someone in other country, and just give them Google, I think they know what to do there. That's something you can do very easily. Typing a word, press, doing search, click. That's what you can do very easily. So there, in terms of media literacy, it has been technology-wise, it has been now much easier to approach. But what I was saying about media divide was, but if you want to use it, in a smart manner. If there is a TV, you can watch it. Everybody can watch it. But to understand and to be more creative, evolve those contents, and understand about politics and society is a different story. So I think there is some kind of difference. And look at the content. I mean, content should be local. I don't think the English or French now. The English will dominate or Chinese will dominate or the world, because what you are looking for is, even though your company can go global, what you are looking for yourself is nothing global. You want to look at something local and in a much easier way, and from your friends, experts, which you know. I don't want to get my medical advice from Swiss doctor, who I don't know. I want to get it better from my doctor in Seoul. So something like that. So the content itself, I think it should be more local, but the way of using it could be more uniform. I find in the beginning, when I built up this Daum, the question was the Koreans are very special. So we are successful because we are in Korea. But I find out in the meantime, now it has been 12 years, and the similar things are happening in the older world. The same thing. The people are now thinking about more web user-generated contents, Web 2.0. Everybody is thinking digital pictures, and like that. So I think in that way, it's moving in the same direction. So it will be the homogeneous, kind of technology, but the content itself and will be local, and the language, I don't think that will be just in English. Maybe that can be a second language, but that should be also the local language will be the number one priority of the content.
Okay. So France will never dominate the internet. Terrible news for me and Rodrigo. Okay, thank you very much, Jaewoong.
Thank you very much.